endless sky they reign supreme. Voices echoing like whispers in a dream. Night and west ride a storm with words they weave. Bruce joins the tale if his grind grants reprieve. Princes of the universe, their thrones are their lives, spinning tales of wonder from the depths of their eyes. Through the shadows of chaos, their voices ignite a beacon of wisdom in the dead of night. From galaxies afar to the mundane grind, no topics too obscure for their curious minds. The laughter cuts the dark like a blade of steel. In the realm of the podcast, the truths are revealed. Princes of the universe, their thrones are their lives, spinning tales of wonder from the depths of their lives. Through the shadows of chaos, their voices ignite a beacon of wisdom in the dead of night. From galaxies afar to the mundane grind, no topics too obscure for the curious minds. The laughter cuts the dark like a blade of steel. In the realm of the podcast, the truths are revealed. Princes of the universe, their thrones are their lives, spinning tales of wonder from the depths of their lives. Through the shadows of chaos, their voices ignite a beacon of wisdom in the dead of night. If Bruce's chains of labor let him break away, he joins the battle of ideas they slay. The trifecta stands strong like a mighty brigade. Their words as legends that will never fade. Princes of the universe, their thrones are their lives, spinning tales of wonder from the depths of their lives. Through the shadows of chaos, their voices ignite a beacon of wisdom in the dead of night.
There can be only one podcast, and may it be the Prince of the Universe. Hi, folks. I'm Matt.
I'm Bruce.
Oh.
Hey.
Hey. Welcome back.
It's been a while.
Oh, we're going to talk about a few things.
Couple things?
Karate Kid Legends, first off. It's a movie review, I guess. Karate Kid Legends.
Oh, you saw it.
Yes, did you?
I did.
All the goodwill built up from Cobra Kai to be smashed by Karate Kid Legends.
Yeah, it was.
And I loved Jackie Chan, too.
I'd heard a couple things about possibly how we got the weird mess that it was. I heard that the original idea was just to have the kid train an adult, and that was going to be the whole movie.
It looks like they just added
And
that
they
last
started with
part.
that. They started with that.
Yeah. Yeah. It looks like that was part of the movie.
They wanted to go somewhere with Jackie Chan, and they wanted to bring in Ralph Macchio, and then they had to create a second movie to add to top of the first movie that they were making, and
It was a
just
mess.
just got weird.
It was a mess.
It was just a convoluted mess.
It's such a mess, and it's such a shame because you could have made a much better film.
Had a great post
Oh
post
man,
movie.
when that is the best. In fact, everyone should watch the last 3 minutes. The last 3 minutes are the Cobra Kai, cameo. Is honestly I was laughing.
Oh yeah.
I was laughing. That's actually that'd be one of my favorite Cobra Kai scenes.
You
How
was
dare
like,
they
oh.
waste it on a terrible movie? And you know what I found out? All ad lib.
All ad, yeah.
All ad lib. It's sad that the best thing in the movie was ad libbed.
Now, from one thing I heard is they couldn't use anything from Cobra Kai. If it wasn't in the movies, they couldn't use anything from TV. So they couldn't reference a wife. They couldn't reference kids.
Okay.
But Ralph Macchio, they were going to go completely and just cut off Karate Kid. He's like, no, we're not going to do anything that would separate it.
Yeah.
We'll watch it
respectfully.
We're not going to discount the show. And
Right.
and which I'm glad he did. But at the same time, we could have done without the movie.
I think you still could have done it, and here's how. Okay, I thought about this after we got out of the movie. I thought that, okay, so Jackie Chan, let's change up his background. He works for Sato in Karate Kid 2.
Oh.
We see a flashback of a young Jackie Chan in 1987 going to, maybe he's causing issues. And Miyagi is meeting with Sato again to see if he can stop this fight. But when Jackie Chan tries to jump him, Miyagi takes him down easily and tells him, "You're living a destructive life. Or maybe he's bullying, And so anyway, Miyagi stops him and then teaches him a lesson. Say, "Hey, you're living a destructive life. You need to change your life." And so he does. And so years later, Miyagi says, "You need to be the stream. You're in the stream," because they threw him in the stream, but you need to be the stream, be calm, be flow, and Jackie Chan kind of realizes his life is kind of wrong. So he owes Mr. Miyagi his life. He changed his life. So it goes to Jackie Chan's character, not super. By the way, how did he get to super rich, having his own place?
Don't know.
Yeah, that was terrible. That was so terrible.
His Kung Fu's that good, I guess.
It was so terrible. But now he's just a normal man. He's living a simple life, and he's by a stream, remembering that lesson, Mr. Miyagi. He goes to visit. Someone says, "Hey, your nephew or whatever." We still do the boy, but he's not in New York. He's in Jersey. Okay, hold up. He's in New Jersey. He's his mom calls and says, "Hey, ever since Dad died, he misses you. Can you come visit?" He went, "Okay, I don't have money for a ticket. Sure, I bought you a ticket. Now get out of here." So he gets out. He's kind of confused. Goes to Jersey. Is going to see his wife. Well, anyway, who's from Jersey? Daniel. He moved from Jersey to California. So he's going back because his mom, who was in the movie and TV show, his mom's uncle passed away. So now the mom gets to make a cameo. He's on the phone with his wife. You don't see his wife. He just says, "Honey, it's okay," because it's okay for him to be married. We just don't know to who. And he goes, "Honey, I understand. I know kids going to college. Everything's crazy there. It's fine. Mom doesn't mind. In fact, Uncle so-and-so, she hardly even knew him. She's here to see all of her other aunts. And yes, they are loud. And it shows all them being loud." He said, "It's nice to be back. I'm going to roam around town. I may go by the old place I used to learn karate from." Wink, wink. So anyway, Mr. Miyagi meets him in a convenience store where they both grab the last whoever wants to sponsor the movie. Coke, whatever, Snickers, whatever. And then they get a little irritated because Jackie Chan's a little confused. Daniel's a little irritated, whatever. Then they get they outside, there's a little bit of a tussle as they go for the door and say, "Hey, bud, what's your problem?" Daniel's mouthing off again. Jackie Chan's not hearing it because he's had a bad trip over to America. And so then they start to fight. So we get one of our fight scenes we wanted, a Karate Kid, Jackie Chan fight. However, very quickly, Jackie Chan recognizes Miyagi-Do karate.
Ooh.
And he says Miyagi-Do. And so now they learn and he shares the story. So now they have similar thing. Well, when he goes to, he goes to visit, they exchange numbers or whatnot. And Jackie Chan visits his nephew and finds out that, his nephew just needs to stand up for himself. He needs to show he has the confidence, and Jackie Chan knows it. And he's thinking, "Yeah, I can do this." But he's thinking, because there's a city tournament, or whatnot, and maybe that will build up his confidence. And so he wants to train him, but he kind of remembers that Miyagi-Do karate and wants Daniel to train him. So now legacy, right? We're passing on our legacy. However, Daniel's the young little kid's student, the guy from the new, they're not called Cobra Kai, they're called someone else. They're the Jersey thing. That was the old one that Daniel went to. And now the kid that he used to work out with, that he's friends with, that he went to, he touched base with all his old friends, one of his friends that they took karate from. Well, now that guy's the big meathead, the guy that didn't know that much karate, but, just damaged karate. The karate was flawed. Obviously, Daniel didn't do that much karate. But then his son is the main antagonist. So his old best friend's son, legacy still, is the villain. So now Daniel agrees to help Jackie Chan train this guy, but this is the video. There's months of training. But they find out that the Miyagi training that he's learning in California has to be done Jersey style. So we see a few other things, the Jersey beach is crowded with people and they can't really do the kickstand and everyone's making fun of them. Or they say, get off you're not going to injure, you're going to hurt yourself. Get off, kid, whatever. So everything's not going the same. So he has to do it Jersey style. And Jackie Chan's like, hey, let me help out. So they both do something. But there's some funny scenes in between. There's some fight scenes. He brings in, because you can connect to the movies. So Chosen can come. Johnny can come. Because he goes, I made a few friends in the past. He went, whoa, but Jackie Chan knows Chosen because they used to work together. So, I mean, it all connect. Again, legacy. So Chosen, Johnny, Daniel, from the movies. This is movie quality here. And we don't have to mention what happened in Cobra Kai because I thought about that. I said they probably didn't want to. I thought they didn't want to mention it because people hadn't seen Cobra Kai. And so they didn't want to get people lost. I get that. So I was trying to say, okay, if you've seen the movies, though, and the second movie is popular enough, it made a lot of money. It was like the biggest one. No. The Jackie Chan one was the biggest grossing one. But of the original Karate Kids, I think Karate Kid 2 grossed more than the first one I heard.
It's possible.
Yeah. Anyway, though. So they're all training him. So it's a legacy of all the movies together versus you could bring in Mike, too, from 3 and have them all train. And then, he gets training from so many masters that in under 6 months to the end of the year, he's ready to go. Meanwhile, falling in love. Meanwhile, being chased around by the bully at the school. It's a little bit the same, but a little bit different. He can outsmart the bully and whatnot, instead of outrunning him. He decides to outsmart him, and the kid punches him, but it's in front of the teachers. So now the bully gets in trouble. He kind of outsmarted in that way. But, I don't know. But there's like little fun moments. Chosen and Jackie Chan can fight. Johnny and everyone can fight. Have more
what I
fights
would like to have seen, they need to go have dinner one time at Adrian's and get some advice from Rocky, because there was talk of them doing the Rocky's Kid versus Karate Kid.
And if they went to Philadelphia,
and just have that scene, that would have been fun.
And just meet with Rocky. It'd blow my mind. It'd blow up the body. It'd still be in theaters today.
It's a deep reference, and
it'd have been. If they ever made that, if they got Rocky just to do the old, they're at the Italian place. They meet Rocky, talk. He talks about being a champion, whatnot, what it takes to be a champion. Dan goes, I was inspired by you. I remember you back in the day. I watched you on TV. I watched that boxing match. I was inspired to be great like you. I mean, if they do that, it's the best movie that they've ever made. It's the best movie. Seriously, someone's going to find. Now, thankfully, Hollywood hasn't figured out, because they own these franchises. They own tons of 80s franchises. They haven't figured out crossover movies. Because if they did, the first one's going to blow up, and then they're going to be crap after that. But if they're going to do it, you do it with Rocky Karate Kid. That's the one you do it with, because it's owned by the same studio, I think.
Yeah, I mean, there was talk about it. Macchio said, no, I'm not going to do that to the character.
Dude.
That's too cheesy.
Dude, no. You do it. You blow everyone's balls off. You do that. And then Hollywood goes nuts with movie crossovers. And then you're a happy man. Because now He-Man can fight Star Wars or Star Trek or, whatever. So there you go. But that would be awesome. But unfortunately, all the goodwill that Cobra Kai built up, some hacks did Karate Kid Legends and just ruined it all.
It was a complicated script that was 2 or 3 movies just crushed together in a compactor.
I remember being disappointed that the next Karate Kid was the last movie. And then the Jackie Chan one, I was like, it was all right. And I like Jackie Chan, but it's not the same. So I was like, blah. But then Cobra Kai said, okay, we've ended on a high note finally.
Excellent.
And like, no, we can't end on a high note. Let's put some turd on top of this. And so they did. It's like Highlander the Source. I wish it wouldn't have been made. I wish none of the movies would have been made. I wish no movie. Highlander 3 is actually pretty fun. Yes. Mario Van Peebles is really good, and that one is a little underrated, But by the way, I'm thinking about watching everything Highlander again. So even the second one, which I haven't seen since I watched it with you back in college.
It's rough, but
that's a rough one.
It's kind of one of those old bad movies that you go in knowing it's old bad. It's fun for the bad.
Last time I watched through them, I skipped 2. I watched 1 and 3, and I remember 3 being okay, but I was like, okay, 3's still okay. I like the idea of someone being, was he caught in a mind? And he was just dead over and over. So he was temporarily sidelined from the game, And when he came back, Connor became immortal again because they had one more fight to make. And I thought that was a really brilliant idea. I was like, all right, that's nice. He has a kid. That's because he's human now, So I get it. But, he's aged a little bit because the game was over. We thought the game was over. And by the way, still, Kurgan, best villain ever.
Oh, yeah.
Best villain. I mean, the show had a lot of great villains. But compared to Kurgan, they're still small in comparison. They had a lot of great villains.
We'll see if the new remake can do it justice.
No, that'll never get out. That'll never get out.
We got Henry Cavill is Connor, and we've got Russell Crowe is Ramirez, and
no thanks.
And haven't heard casting for Kurgan yet.
It's not gonna get him back. Get John Delancey back because he's still awesome. He's coming back in movies, and I love him.
Clancy Brown. Yeah,
I'm sorry, I couldn't think of his name. So anyway, yeah, bring him back. He'll have to shave his beard, dye his hair, lose a little weight, and he's back, baby. He's just so good. Anyway, so we have that one. Now we're going to talk about Thunderbolts. So we'll talk about Thunderbolts for a minute. Just watched it, or the new Avengers. I felt like I was watching a made-for-TV movie, and I don't care about any of those people. By the way, have we seen the Ghost person before? Was she in something?
She was in the Ant-Man.
Oh, okay. See, I don't even remember.
Yeah.
I had a feeling she was in something, but I don't remember. I like U.S. Agent. I liked him from his original one.
Yeah.
This one, I just felt that wasn't the same character arc that we saw from Falcon Winter Soldier, but
he's in rough times. He was definitely falling on rough times.
Yeah, he's falling on rough times, but I remember liking him. I remember he was a good character, I
think I liked the movie. I enjoyed it. I liked the characters in the movie.
Now, here's the thing. They went with Sentry. Nice. I wish, like, the Void, it was really cool. That was really good. But, man, that movie was rushed. It felt like it was like, we're trapped. We got to get out. We got to get Bob. He's Void. The end. It was like, I just felt like it was just really quick, and I wish there was more. If Sentry's going to be it, I wish it was more slower pace. I don't know if I'm meaning, but I wish there's more character to Bob, the Sentry there. Oh, and the little, go ahead.
The thing is, he's going to be hard to do. I don't know if you could have done him any better adapting him to the Marvel Universe based off of his complicated backstory in Marvel.
His Marvel comic book they couldn't do.
No,
that's too big of that had to be an Avengers event there.
Yeah,
which I kind of feel like they wasted Sentry.
In a way, but at the same time, I feel like it's probably the best way you could pull him into the Marvel Universe.
Yeah,
without it being too convoluted.
I understand, his original story, and they had to do something different. But I feel like some of these people just get wasted, on bad movies. Because I don't like White Widow. I don't think.
I do.
I don't like any of the Thunderbolts really. Bucky's like, wow, I'm still doing this, and I don't know why. Poor guy. I've watched his other movies. They're not really good. He needs to make better movies. That's why he has to keep playing Winter Soldier to get that check. But to be honest, they can't write anything good for him anymore.
They're online. They're wanting him to take over Mark Hamill's role of Luke Skywalker.
Well, I see the resemblance. So yeah, go ahead. Something different than Bucky. He said he's screaming anything but Bucky. I'm dying here, because they can't give Bucky a good storyline. And they mesh it in and try to do. And the Stinger is just an advertisement for the movie coming out later on this summer. I'm not impressed. I just, and like I said, the Void look was really good. That was really good. That was done very well.
Yeah.
In fact, White Widow, is that her name? Is that her
it wasn't the comic book, but I think she's just Black Widow or Widow.
Yeah, I like how we've moved away from superhero costumes altogether. That's just great because we can't do anything. But they are not the new Avengers. They just seem like the Defenders, 2.0. They don't seem serious. They don't seem. I know they try to. I laughed once or twice in it.
I think you're being overly harsh. I really enjoyed it. It's definitely one of the better movies since Endgame.
I wish it. No, there's the Spider-Man movie.
I said one of.
Doctor Strange 2 was better. Not many were better. It wasn't the worst. They've definitely had worse since then. Oh no, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was excellent.
Yeah,
was excellent. So I don't know. It just seems like they're striking out, and I just don't know if. I hope they turn the ship around, but
You got high hopes for Fantastic Four?
I'm not going to see it in theaters. I'm just gonna wait. It just doesn't look. It just doesn't look good. I mean, I just can't try. I don't trust the Marvel product anymore. I don't trust them. I don't trust them. Oh, we're gonna make a turnaround. No, you're not. I don't think you've until you show me you've learned your lesson. Then I don't believe you.
They've introduced Mephisto as of this recording this week on the TV show Ironheart.
Did you see Ironheart?
I have not watched it.
Okay, because that was my next talk. I just finished it today.
Okay.
In preparation, just in case you were watching it. Okay, first 5 episodes. In fact, just let me tell you in 2 sentences.
I've not heard great
what
things.
happens, because you should skip all 5 episodes. In fact, you should only watch the last 10, 12 minutes.
I mean, when I heard the Hood was on it, I was like, oh, that's good. I like the Hood. But yeah, not sure what they're
It's really bad. And I like that actor because he was in Twisters.
Oh.
And he's ruined himself by
It's a
being
shame,
in
'cause
this.
that's a good character in the comic
And
books.
the whole time I was watching this, I was going, oh man, this is bad. Not Jessica Jones bad. I still think Jessica Jones is the worst thing I've ever seen. And I'm trying to rank how bad this is.
Yeah.
And it was on par. Agony all along was just it was painful. It was painful. And this has had the same pain, but it did have less episodes, which moved it above agony all along. And I was like, okay, what's the next one? And I can't remember what else I've watched, but it had all the Hulu ones were fine, if I remember. I think they all beat them. But Secret Wars, I laughed out loud at one scene at Secret Wars, which was the only thing holding it over. But the last 10 minutes with Mephisto, which I was very pissed off. I've been waiting to see Mephisto and Loki.
Yeah.
I've been waiting to see real Mephisto, not I don't know. I feel like no one's going to care because Mephisto's in Ironheart. And it's not even, obviously, they're not going to dress him up as the devil. He's just going to be a man. But the thing is, though, if you would have had him as Loki, he would have been the devil.
I would assume supposedly it's going to be the next big thing after they're finishing the multiverse arc, which they're considering this when we get to Doomsday.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to be 2 Avengers movies to wrap it up or just 1 Avengers movie, but that'll end the multiverse saga since Endgame. And then they'll be moving into more supernatural characters. But we'll get Blade and Ghost Rider.
Oh, is Blade going to be made?
Yeah, supposedly. Or we're going to have the one and only Wesley Snipes.
I hope he comes back. But anyway.
So this is just the tease of where they're going. I'm assuming at some point in the movies we'll get a more demonic version of Mephisto.
Well, this was a very bad version. And the thing is, I mean, honestly,
I think the casting's good.
Honestly, you should let me just tell you the 2. Maybe I could sum it up in maybe 1 sentence, 5 episodes, and then just watch the last 10 minutes. Because the last 10 minutes aren't the best, but if you know it's Mephisto, because they make you think it's Damanu.
Okay.
What's his name?
They make you think Strange.
Make you think it's him, and then he goes, "No, my name's Mephisto." And so that's the big reveal at the end, is that this guy we thought was Damanu is that the right name? Am I saying that right? Dormammu, yeah. They think it's Dormammu. She goes, I know who you are, Dormammu. He goes, well, get out of here. I'm not Dormammu. Why would I be here? That's so beneath me. And then he says he's Mephisto, which was a nice twist. And what have they said anything else about the ending?
No.
Okay.
I've kind of avoided too much, but
it's
I haven't watched it yet.
The Stinger is awful. The Stinger's awful. It's just terrible.
So the show's over?
Yeah, no, it was only 6 episodes. They brought 3 out one week and 3 out the next week.
Okay, good to know.
And that was it, because they dumped it. And they've been sitting on it for 3 years now?
Forever.
Yeah, because they know it's crap, and it is. It's absolutely teetotal. Half the people can't act. It doesn't make sense.
That's what
they. This whole team of ragtag multicultural kids that even Captain Planet would roll his eyes over, are able to beat up high-ranking security guards in a high, military base. But when they turn on Ray Ironheart, who doesn't know how to fight, and she's just trying to save her life, she takes on both of them at the same time and gets away.
Good for her.
But all the highly trained special guards in the secret super base, these kids just plowed through them, made them look like dummies earlier in the show. It's just such...
Hey, the power of diversity.
It's such garbage. And I think they thought the hubris of Ironheart is they thought for sure they were going to get a second season. They set it up for a second season.
Why?
I don't know.
But
They were so cocky
my shock
that they set this up for a second season.
My shock is Disney seems to be starting to understand their problem. And
yes.
they had this already shelved, so they feel like they had to release it. They could have just edited that out. Why did they leave it in there? Because I don't think they're going in that direction.
Well, they had to because that's the little twist.
You could have worked around.
Are you going to watch this?
I will eventually.
I mean, can I tell you?
Go ahead.
Okay. So
I'll probably forget by the time we get to it.
yeah. No, well, the whole thing is, her friend died at the very beginning. You hear about her. Yeah, everyone has to have a sorrowful loss, and her friend died years ago. Oh, well, then she creates an AI version of her friend from the suit, and now that's her Jervis. You know, is her little friend, and so she and her girlfriend having fun again. But of course, the girlfriend is just an AI. It's not real. And so the AI gets hurt because it's not real. But then later on, the AI program gets destroyed. Oh, no! And she loses her friend again. But Mephisto goes, I can give you whatever you want. What do you want? And he reaches out his hand. Do we have a deal? And she's looking at it. And then you see her in the shop working, and she sees her friend pops up. She went, finally. She said, the AI program worked. And she's like, you don't know how long I've been waiting to tell you this. And she goes, run diagnostics. He goes, what do you mean run diagnostics? Who do you think I am, your servant? And she smacks her in the head. She went, hey, how did you do that? And it's because she shook Mephisto's hand, made a deal with the devil, and when she's hugging her friend because she's so happy that she's real, she's back, you see her hand glowing. that
dun,
says
dun,
that she has signed a deal with the devil, and what's going to happen? None? Oh, we don't know.
Yeah, probably nothing.
And then the hood shows up in a candy store and talks to a witch.
They're bringing the witches back?
The witches from, yes, Agony. I don't even know if they're from because I can't remember. I blacked out during watching that show. Did you see that?
The first 2 episodes.
Oh, it was awful. It's awful. And the thing is, it starts off pretty funny. She's naked,
The first
goes to her
episode's
neighbor.
not bad.
That was pretty funny. I'll be honest, that was pretty funny. But it is, they said, hey, what would middle-aged women love to see?
Marvel movies.
Marvel movies.
No, they don't watch those.
So every episode is a trap they have to get out of. One, they're drinking wine in a nice white area. A bunch of women just drinking wine and talking about witches, the whole cliche on witches. A broom. I haven't ridden a broom since the 1800s. Oh, those brooms were so sticky. Not my broom. Yeah, all these stupid witch jokes, okay? And then the next one, they form a rock band and they're rocking out. They gotta form a band and play together like a team to get out. And everything is just it's like traveling the clan of traveling Yaya Pants, whatever that movie was, but Marvelized for witches, and it's just so awful. It's so awful. It has a twist that you see from the very beginning. They mail it in, but this one was pretty good. Like you think it's Dormammu this whole time, and he turns out to be Mephisto. That's nice. And the one time I laughed was when she goes, "So, who's that supposed to be?" She's Mephisto. That's nice. But of course, I love how she's poor, living in the hood, but she can make Iron Man suits like out of trash. So good for you. I mean, I don't know why you're still living poor.
I hear it runs on solar energy.
Oh man. But the little ending is pretty good. I'd watch that. I enjoy it. I was like, oh, she made a deal. I thought she was going to walk away from the devil, but so she made a deal. So what's going to be her thing? We don't know. Find out in season. It doesn't say that, but obviously it's like, she made a deal with the devil. Oh no, and that's the end.
I doubt she'll get another TV show.
No, I doubt
maybe
she'll
they'll
I
do
doubt
something
she'll
in
see
another
the light.
movie.
I mean,
but maybe.
but the thing is though, and not once. I don't think. I don't know. I wasn't really paying. They don't call her Ironheart. I don't think. But either way,
they don't like to use the comic book names much in the movies.
in general. I don't care. Well, because they think the superhero concept is silly now. They think it's silly, and that's one of the problems with Marvel. You got to go with it. I don't care about the Superman movie, but I am glad they're bringing Clark Kent back
Yeah.
because Zack Snyder gave up on that. You know, it seemed like everyone's going to give up on the silly Clark Kent identity. And who knows? I haven't seen it. It may suck. But James Gunn typically makes good Marvel movies. And he did, of course, Peacemaker. And probably one of the best DC movies, which was the second Suicide
And the Howling
Squad.
Commandos was fun.
The which one?
Howling Commandos.
What was that?
That was the cartoon on HBO that is part of the new DC universe. It's got you know references to the Peacemaker and Suicide Squad that he did. And,
Oh, really?
Yeah, and you know the voice actors are playing those same characters in the movies.
Is it true they're making a Peacemaker too?
Yes. You didn't see the trailer yet?
Oh, the trailer's out?
Yes.
Ah! Okay, now
Nathan Fillion's in it.
Peacemaker, and they got to keep that intro. Or if they do, they have to make one better.
I bet you they're going to do something new, and I hope they can top it. But
Like I
that
said,
is a big...
we said this on our review of it years ago. I never skipped it the entire season. I never skipped the intro. I watched it every time. I loved it. The music's great. He wanted the weirdest, oddest, ugliest dance ever, and they just nailed it. It was so... When you get Robert Pattinson doing it with a straight face, it's gold. That is gold. So Peacemaker survived the Snyderverse.
Yes. I don't know how... Well, there's some,
I hope they do a silly
I can
story.
make some assumptions based off of some stuff in the trailer. Because in the trailer, there's 2 Peacemakers. So I bet you they're doing some kind of...
Oh, okay.
cross
He's
universe,
from a
that
the Flash messed up.
Which hopefully will be a funny joke, just a quick joke to write it off.
It definitely will. It definitely will because he came across the Justice League in the last season, last episode, which I thought was hilarious.
Yes, that was a good finale.
And by the way, I don't know if we talked about this, but Flash wasn't that bad. Flash wasn't.
I enjoyed Flash.
Flash is one of the best ones because of the way they. I could have sworn up and down because when Megan wanted to see it because of Batman, I said, Megan, they're going to ruin him. They're going to because they always did, and they didn't.
No.
The reason he retired wasn't because he's salted and jaded and jilted and all alone. No, he beat crime. He doesn't need to fight anymore. And I was like, shut up. So usually it's always the grizzled old veteran who's, I'm done, kid. I don't trust this world. I have no love for this world anymore. And then Flash gives him hope. And
in a lot of ways, he was like the Batman from Kingdom Come.
He was great.
He had kind of accomplished his goal.
Yeah, he'd accomplished his goal, and he didn't need to do it anymore. And Michael Keaton's great. He fell back into that role. I believed it. I loved it. And the George Clooney cameo at the end, just bow. It fooled me. I did not know. And when Megan had fallen asleep by then, she didn't care about the movie.
I heard that was kind of like last minute. They actually had other things.
That was
they were
absolutely brilliant.
They were going to tease the Batgirl movie, but because that was shelved, they had to do something else. But that was way better.
That was incredible. That was incredible. Because they fooled me. I thought it was Affleck the whole time, and then he came out, and I laughed so hard. I told Megan about it. She had to rewind it and watch it with her, but yeah. But anyway, all right, so there's our movie review. Let us know in the comments what you thought about Thunderbolts, what you think about Iron Fart, and what was the other thing? Oh, Karate Kid Legends. And we'll see you next time on Princes of the Universe.